I'll be reading from Sister, the book that Red Hen published. Sister is a novel in poems, and it is set in Kentucky. And the only thing that you need to know is that the narrator is speaking to a younger sister that she doesn't know. There are 10 years between them, and each poem is a sort of a love poem to her sister, telling her the differences between them and why they might not know one another. The first poem is entitled Footling. Footling is a breech birth, but it is feet first instead of bottom first. So, Footling. We have heard her tell the story over and again like this. An early spring tornado, a still yellow sky, nuns who said, must have felt better going in than it does coming out, as they gave her a hot compress and dimmed the lights for pain. She was half my age now, sweet 16 and barely healed when God smacked half the trees flat and she curled down under a mattress in an empty bathtub in an empty apartment, a newborn suckling the tips of her fingers. The porcelain, cool white womb had a drain ready to carry anything it could swallow to the swollen brown Ohio. And though the tub was dry, she used her heel to flip the drain open, asking the river to take it, all of it, especially that moment the month before when she didn't know better but to sit up and grab the slippery blue feet first, an impossible breach, a twist with a snap that meant leg braces, special shoes, a grown woman who would never walk right in red heels. Frightened in this storm, she wanted the tender word, birth, but knew better now. Birth meant forceps, rips, umbilical cords wrapped around the neck. Birth needed the abdomen for more birth. Recovered with douche, singed with a drop or two of Lysol, boiled a set of glass baby bottles in the same pot that made the pinto beans. Not much more to hold, and so she touched the blue leg of her bruised baby, cooed Footling, thinking it sounded more like the name of some imp than a complication. Footling, her shape-shifter sleeping inside the cup of a trumpet vine. Footling, because she was so young, and who could blame her, dreaming away and waiting while wind tore the silk of clouds to shreds, plucked off pieces of home, peeled shingles back from rooftops one by one. Sister, this is not a code. These words are not to be spoken. This is the way I'm able, describing everything but. I know you don't know me, and I know the cat better than you. How can you forgive me as I've spent more time trickling water between the fat leaves of my jade plant than brushing your hair? That I recall serving the shaking girl who came in on Tuesdays coffee with 1 cube of ice, 1 cube of sugar, and a straw she had to drink through. But I've never poured you a cup of anything I can remember. All I can tell you is that when you were new, the crown of your head broke my heart with the smell of sweet, warm bread. Mama sleeps, her body curled tight like the sole of a house shoe hot from the dryer. Mama sleeps, her bent knees bare, her ankleted ankles crossed, one foot on top the other, stacked placid and limp, Jesus style. Mama sleeps, her jaw knocking all night on the same closed door, her canines worn flat with the pop and grit of chewing a thing impossible to swallow. She doesn't like heavy things on her, nothing to weigh her down, so with one thin sheet she sleeps, her hand to her face, making an L with her pointer alongside her nose and her thumb tucked under her chin. At first you think it's a vestige from some crybaby comfort time, but look closer. See how the hand steadies her pretty dreaming head, how it holds her pretty pout mouth, keeping it shut. Pretend I know you. Pretend in a deep pool I always find you first, following the familiar Marco Polo of your voice. Pretend we played freeze tag wrapped in the sticky transparency of spring, new grass greening our shoes and knees. Pretend we played hopscotch, made it to heaven so many times we wore the chalk to a knuckle scrape nub, that we kicked the can, jumped double dutch, sat cross-legged facing each other, clapping out dirty songs about boys. Pretend I know something and point it out. It is not red, that color quick to disappear without light, and not blue, that satin shade of drowning. No, orange is violence and yellow fear, and purple, no, it's an obvious iris, a flower church dusted, bearded petals snapping shut. No, pink are the walls of a bedroom long gone, and white reflects everything lost. We are older now. Try for shades not taken, hues we never got to see. All those school words that meant nothing until it was seen to be believed. Milk blue, Adriatic, dust, moth, brown, storm, oil slick eel crushed underfoot in Chinatown, whisper expensive green, chartreuse, peridot, olive, or new paint for new walls, wrought iron, Derby rose, Queen Anne's lace. Show me what patterns you see on the pressed insides of your eyes, and I'll return with the colors of where I've been all these years. Rust smear of roach in tiny apartments, yellowed plastic computer clicking through the night, rain in the canals, pastel squares of chiclets sold for a peso by such a tired little girl. Tell me, what is it you don't see? Sit with me, sit in grainy black. We'll be like two sisters leg-locked, up too late playing slumber party game after game in the flashlit dark. Thank you.